Well, it is a movement about providing everybody with access to life-changing prosthetic and orthotic care so that everybody can move. Our birthday guy over here, you know him, Colin Potts, COO of Regenerative Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, is here with us today, along with Sheryl Sachs of Dankmeyer Incorporated, to talk to us a little bit more about the legislation being considered. So welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you. Great to see you, Eileen.
I know, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
What better way to celebrate than with Good Morning Washington, and sharing something that's really important, I know, to both of you. So Sheryl, why don't we start about what the Maryland Senate Bill 614 is, why it's so important, and some of the sponsors, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So Senate Bill 614 is a bill that aims to improve access and equity for individuals with limb loss, limb difference, and mobility impairments. We are also fortunate enough to have our bill cross-filed into the House as well, which is really exciting. So our bill sponsor for our Senate bill is Senator Pam Beidel, along with co-sponsor Senator Sarah Elfreth. They introduced this legislation, and on the House side we have Delegate Ashanti Martinez really kind of leading this effort. So in the bill we aim to address the fact that individuals with limb loss, limb difference, and mobility impairments don't have access to the same type of devices as someone who's able-bodied. So it's an equity issue, and it's also an issue where we're able to really educate people and try to change the law to improve the lives of individuals like Colin and those in Maryland who are living with limb loss and limb difference.
Yeah, Colin, can you expand a little bit on how this would impact people with limb loss?
Yeah, it's super important. The accessibility to the different prostheses that I have and a lot of people don't have. I never thought that I would wake up after losing a limb and someone saying that running would be a luxury. And when you think about it that way, and the affordability of the prosthetics are so expensive, and a liner is $500, and people all of a sudden, I always say, don't go home, live, but you stay home because you can't do the other activities that able-bodied people are able to do.
And it's, I mean, it's just one of those things. It is helping, I think, also probably provide so much hope for people that are going through limb loss, and again, making it more accessible, because then they can live, a more quote-unquote normal life. What is something that both of you kind of have learned throughout this process?
So it definitely has been a learning process. So Maryland right now, which is where our legislation's been introduced, is in session, and it's only about 90 days. So it's a bit of a sprint, and we've been fortunate enough to not only have our bills introduced, but we've had our bill hearings, and they're currently moving through committee. So we've had the support of some of the carriers. We worked really closely with Care First and Kaiser, and we've been able to agree to some amendments to the legislation in hopes that it's going to get through. But Colin and I were actually just joking that I think a lot of individuals know about the Schoolhouse Rock, how a bill becomes a law.
Yes.
And it's not quite as straightforward as it seems, but as individuals who don't have a policy background, I'm a clinician who works with patients, this has just been a really, really interesting learning experience just about the process of how a bill becomes a law at the state level, and every state is different, but also the fact that we're legislating and advocating on an issue that not a lot of individuals know about. So there's been a really big education component to this as well.
Yeah, what about you? What have you learned?
Yeah, I was shocked when I testified in front of the House subcommittee because how few people knew anything about the life of an amputee and prosthetics. They didn't understand why you would need a different leg for going to the beach or to run, and really just how small of a voice the amputees really have in this world. So this is a great opportunity to amplify that voice and also bring the light in and show people that we want people to dare to dream, to get back to what able-bodied people can do, and it's just so important that we give that hope. And the expensive and the overwhelming aspect of when you wake up and it's failure, it's amputee, it's all the things you have to deal with, and then someone's saying, no, you can't run, no, you can't swim, no, you can't do those things. So that's why we're here, is to help lift this bill and really give as many people hope as we can to get out and not only live life, but thrive in life.
So how can we help? I'm sure a lot of folks like me are like, okay, what can we do?
Well, so there are a few things to do. The first thing I think is to really tell individuals about this opportunity. So even if you aren't living with limb loss, limb difference, or mobility impairments, if you know someone in your community, or even if you don't, you can ask. I think there's some information on the screen where you can really reach out to us. And again, as we mentioned, education is a really big part of this. But in Maryland, since we are in session and hoping to pass our bills out of committee, reach out to your elected officials. You can email them, you can call them, and let them know that you want to support this legislation moving forward in order to support this community.
Thank you so much for both of you. I know you're making such a big impact in our community, and we appreciate it. All the information, as we said, on the bottom of your screen. And once again, a very happy birthday to our
thank you so much.
Colin
It's so great to
Potts.
be here, and thank you for the opportunity to shine more light on a great subject.
Thank you.
And we're going to help a lot of people with this segment. Thank you.
All that matters.
Thank you.